Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Ninja Warrior podcast. Tonight, we are finally covering the American Ninja Warrior Season 15 finale. Yep, after about a month and a half since the finale aired, we are finally here talking about it. Talking about our opinions on Stage 3 and Stage 4. And man, we have a long episode to drove through.
Yeah, we are going through the last episode and a half of the show, and man, I have some shit to say about Stage 3.
Yeah, so, we are sorry for taking over a month and a half to do this. The simple fact is that, we just really couldn't record last week, but we really wanted to.
Yeah, it was just a little too complicated. I lost my voice. David went through some personal things. Everyone else, it just really wasn't the best week in the world. And we really couldn't film anything, so we just called it. And now we're here. We don't have much time, but we are gonna try to film this. Try to get it done so that way it's recorded. And when I get the chance, I will be editing it down, and hopefully be able to get it up by next week.
Yeah, so, what we are going to be covering today, as we mentioned, Stages 3 and 4, the final episode and a half of the show. Yeah, you guys want to get into this? Start talking about Stage 3? Yeah, we're here. We're ready to roll. Oh, so, what do you guys think of the Stage 3 course?
Okay. So, recently, I told David to put up a poll about the whole naming situation with this episode, and you guys chose the Stage of Nothing. Which is pretty accurate to me.
Yeah, so I think that title is basically just something to the fact that if Stage 3 really feels like nothing, it really does just feel like a bridge to Stage 4. Like, the fact that only 2 of these obstacles took out anyone, and more than half these ninjas who made it here completed it with absolute ease, is basically the problem.
Yes! Stage 3! Like, I was thinking about it last year, but I really couldn't piece it together. Like, I couldn't understand why Stage 3 finishes felt like nothing to me. I had literally no emotion, where in past years, it was a big deal. Like, only 4 ninjas had done it until season 13. And even then, we had 1 in season 13, you know? Everything still felt like a challenge. Here, nope!
Yeah, no. So, here's the thing. I'm gonna get to it in a minute, but this Stage 3 was... I'm trying to really grasp it because it feels like it feels easy, but at the same time I understand this is not an easy course.
Yeah, well, relatively speaking, compared to other Stage 3s we've seen in the past, this is definitely one of the easiest, if not the easiest.
Yeah, there's kind of just an overabundance of rest bars and not hard obstacles, like for Stage 3 stages, I should say. And honestly, it's really hard to talk about this, because honestly, there were parts of this course I kind of want to like. But, as you guys will see as we keep on going here, we have almost nothing to say about a lot of these ones.
Yeah, no, but let's get into it. Starting with Stage 3's obstacles, including the returning Patriot Pass.
Yep, this was here last year. Not a bad obstacle, definitely. I think it's a fine starter for Stage 3. I think it's a fine starter for Stage 3. We know it gets your arms working. It works with ropes. Prepares you for Stage 4 if you get there. It's fine.
Yeah, then we get stalactites, which is actually a pretty good obstacle. I'll give them that. It's difficult to hang from that, and it immediately gets you ready and pumped for Stage 3. Even though it has never taken down anyone, keep that thing there. It could do. It definitely wears down your arms. And then we got Slam Dunk. Huh?
Yeah. So here's an obstacle, just like Up for Grabs from season 13. An obstacle that is way too easy to be on Stage 3. Yeah, it's like, I can't deny that Slam Dunk is kind of hard, but like, really on Stage 3, guys? Like, this isn't as bad as Up for Grabs, but it might as well be.
Yeah, it's who thought of this was a good idea? Like, I mean, it just feels so out of place. What was wrong with Chop It Up from last season? That was not a good obstacle, but it at least fixed this problem and actually felt like somewhat of a challenge.
Yeah, like, Chop It Up was actually a way better obstacle in this spot.
Yeah, but then we have the same nerfed ultimate cliffhanger from seasons past.
Yeah, I mean, the cliffhanger is basically a joke at this point. Like, I find this really funny. The fact that, this cliffhanger, like, when they were having other brothers go through it, Akbar recently, when they were showing an angle of, like, the upwards view of the cliffhangers, you can see how thick those ledges are. He's like, look how thin the ledges are. And I'm just like, those are the thickest I've ever seen cliffhangers.
Yeah, I mean, you got a point. I mean, yeah, it is a lot harder than, like, cliffhangers we see on City Finals courses back in, like, seasons 5 through 7. But, like, this is not a hard cliffhanger when comparing to the others. Like, I would argue the original cliffhanger was harder than this.
Yeah, because at least had that small jump and the giant reach. Like, yeah, I think you got a point there.
Yeah, and this cliffhanger was nothing. Like, it's so easy. These ninjas have it so easy. See, this thing's the...
Yeah, the cliffhanger along with the cliffhanger was one of only 2 obstacles to take out anyone. And it took out 2 ninjas who probably should not have been here in the first place. But, yeah.
We'll get there. After that, we had Pipe Dream, which at this point really has ran its course.
Yeah, I'm surprised this thing even still here. It will be out next year. We know there's a new obstacle going in its spot for next year's season 16 stage 3. It still doesn't. It's still fine, I guess, but they definitely shrunk it compared to last season, and you could definitely tell it kind of just. And you could definitely tell there's only 1 drop compared to the 2 in the previous seasons. And honestly, this obstacle has just been a joke, so the fact that it also hasn't taken it out anyone since its debut in season 11.
Yeah, I mean, at least, yeah. Alright. Next up, we got probably the first actual new obstacle that actually does have some worth here on stage 3. Pressure Cooker.
Yeah, honestly, to me, not a bad choice. I actually do think this is really hard, and I actually do think this is somewhat up to snuff for stage 3. Problem. The rest of the course? No.
Yeah. So, if this thing was on a stage 3 with, like, all the other obstacles from previous seasons that really are actually designed to weigh you down and are actually designed to kill you, then, yeah, this would be a deadly choice. Like, this would actually be kind of difficult. Like, this is my personal opinion, but if Eyeglass Alley went right before this thing or right after, this thing would probably be a lot more daunting of an obstacle because you'd want to get through it fast because you still got 2 more things after it, or at least you're still like hanging, you're tired. Like Eyeglass Alley really should have went in Pipe Dream's place.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. Make that track longer. Like seriously, I really miss the obstacle because like as I mentioned, it was my favorite. Stage 3 in ANW, like, I can still say that. Because that obstacle is still really difficult, it's still really challenging, it still deserves to be on stage 3. The fact that it just got replaced by an obstacle that, okay, is up to snuff, yes, but still feels kind of worse is kind of annoying to me.
Yeah, then we have, surprisingly enough, a new final obstacle, road signs, which, okay, I don't even know what to say about this thing.
Yeah, so this is replacing the iconic flying bar, which is a difficult challenge, I'll give you that. And I don't think this is a bad obstacle. This is still really difficult. It was the only obstacle to really do any kind of damage to the ninjas. So it was nice to see more ninjas fail in the final obstacle here. But it really isn't worth that when the rest of stage 3 isn't up to snuff. And the rest of stage 3 is just really easy.
Yeah, I'd like to actually quote Akbar on this one, actually. Like, minutes into the first one of the stage, Enzo Wilson, he said something that makes me really just think about their understanding of what stage 3 is supposed to be.
These first obstacles may not take you out, but they will wear you out.
Yeah, actually, it's like the thing is, they have the understanding that stage 3 is just supposed to wear you down and just get you tired. It's not really supposed to take you out, and that's the problem.
Yeah, it's just like, no, every obstacle on stage 3 should be an absolute challenge to wear you down, and it should also be failable as well. Like, these obstacles should be possible to fail. Like, actually possible. Like, I don't mean, like, if you're bad at it. I mean actually possible.
Yeah, exactly. Like, in seasons past, let's just go back to, like, season 9, stage 3, for example. We had obstacles in different spots that could easily take out a ninja if you're not ready for it. Floating boards, we had the key lock hang, and the nail clippers for the first 3 obstacles, and then the daunting ultimate cliffhanger. All of those are good obstacles in those spots because they are available and they're really difficult. Especially the nail clippers. Like, the nail clippers kind of just seem overlooked on stage 3, but I actually do agree that those were worth it. And then the cliffhanger was so much harder. Like, if you really think about it, I feel like that cliffhanger would have taken out more people here.
Oh yeah, for sure. And obviously the season 9 course would have taken out the majority of these ninjas. Like, honestly, to me, a lot of them aren't ready for this. It doesn't really seem that way. Especially because of the fact that we had, like, I think 3 rookies complete this course.
Yeah. 3, basically nobody rookies complete this course. And honestly, their clears feel like nothing. They don't feel like anything. They don't feel like any kind of, like weight or any kind of emotion. There is no emotion when it comes down to watching these ninjas complete stage 3 or completely fall on it.
Yeah, so what's happened to this? Starting with the first one of the night, Enzo D. Ferrari Wilson. One of the ninjas who made it to stage 3 because of how stage 2 looked. Not gonna talk about it here, but Enzo made a really deep run in this course. Once again, a run that clearly shows that this course is way too fucking easy.
Yeah, he made all the way to the 7th obstacle, road signs. I don't think Enzo really should have gotten that close. Yeah, it's so hard to really explain. And because to me this still looks and feels like a stage 3. It's just like easy.
Yeah, it's hard to explain, but like, that's what it is. And the fact is that there's literally nothing to note about Enzo's run, unfortunately. Like, he just made it through all of it. It's impressive, yes. And what I do find interesting is on the stalactites where he was using a technique to muscle up with one hand. That's difficult. And it helps with, like, reaches and stuff. It's little stuff like that makes a one worth it, but honestly, aside from that, really, I got nothing for Enzo's run, and that's for a lot of these ones, too. I don't have much to say about them, which really infuriates me. Like, I should be able to talk about emotions and feelings about stage 3. Like, if you give me stage 3 in seasons past, I could do that. There are thrills and stuff that happens. Not really here. They kind of just do their thing. Things kind of just happen. They make it through or they fail. It's really all or nothing. And it doesn't feel like anything, whether it's all or nothing. That's it.
Yeah, so as we mentioned earlier, Enzo failed on road signs. After that, we had NASA Gallimore, who ended up completing the course with literally no issue. He really didn't look like he was having any kind of trouble whatsoever on the entire thing.
Yeah, this course was easy for him, and that's a big thing, too. Again, all these ninjas are getting through it with ease. It's so weird to me.
Yeah. NASA did technically have a segment, but it was really only about his performance this season and how he's realized his dream and everything, but it's honestly not an entertaining segment.
Yeah, no, not really. But then we have probably the best one out of the entirety of stage 3. It's not even a clear either, but to me it just feels like the most the most worth it to see, and that being Austin Gray.
Yeah, Austin, you know, he's been to Stage 3 before. He's one of those ninjas who's done it before, and he got really close. And he had a really deep one to the course that was really impressive, making it all the way to road signs, where he ended up missing on the second hop, on the second set. And honestly, for Gray, that was surprising.
Yeah, even on this rewatch, my brain kind of just thought he cleared, but no. Again, like, everyone's, like, just get mixed up. You kind of forget about this roster.
Yeah, exactly. That's also what it feels like. I mean, I honestly really hope that with all the success we saw on Stage 3 this year, that they really, and I mean really, reinvigorate this course. Reinvent how this show is seen, because that's the opportunity they have here. The fact that Vance and Gil won, and so many people made it to Stage 4, should be something they should consider when redesigning this course again. And the format thing is also something they consider. They should obviously change it back to what it was. That would definitely help it. But honestly, to me, I would like to see a course that feels like Season 8 did. It feels like a full-on reinventing of the entire course with new obstacles, some old returning obstacles. Like, ANW has such a big catalog of obstacles they can use for both the qualifiers, semis, Stage 1, and Stage 2 that they just don't use. Why?
Yeah, not every obstacle needs to be new, guys. And you gotta know where to place them. Honestly, like I think those seasons, let's say what should we get? 6 to 10, even 11 to a certain degree. Like 11 up till Stage 1 had this down too. Where to place obstacles on these daunting courses to keep them fresh and keep them new. They really had that down. Here, not so much. They kind of just wing it, hope for the best, that kind of thing. And it just leads to courses that don't feel like much of anything. And again, that's Stage 3 here. Austin, he failed on both sides, like we said. Definitely an emotional one. Because Austin is one of those ninjas that, again, I remember clearing.
Like, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I completely forgot if Austin even ran this course because he ran in this episode. Like, straight up, I forgot so much that after I watched the finale, I was like, did Austin even run the course?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I completely forgot.
Okay, yeah. That's also the thing. Like, you shouldn't be able to forget that someone ran.
Yep, the final winner of episode 13 was Daniel Gill, who absolutely destroyed the course and was able to complete Stage 3 for the second time in his career.
Yeah, again, it doesn't feel like much, but still a really impressive one. And again, it's good to see Gil. Like, Gil's one of the most known ninjas. He's been here 4 times. I'm the only ninja to be here that many times to make it to Stage 3. Usually everyone else here has made it twice at most, which is kind of weird to me, but yeah. And honestly, Gil was definitely the favorite going to the season. I mean, him and RJ were the big-time veterans still in the competition. And they definitely had big chances to go all the way. And I had full confidence that Gil, Vance, and RJ were all going to climb Stage 4, $4 million.
Yeah, and honestly, they were probably the only 3 who probably should have cleared this course.
Oh, that too, yes. Like, no one else here was, like, any kind of, like, big-time veteran who we've had build-up for. Not really. Like, I mean, everyone else here, they've been here for a season at most. And the only exception to that is Kayla Bergstrom and Austin Gray.
Yeah. Like, Austin Gray is probably the other ninja I'd say I was expecting to climb Stage 4 this season too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But honestly, those are the 4 that should have cleared. If this course was up to stump, those were the 4. Austin Gray, Daniel Gill, RJ Roman, and Vance Walker. Those were the 4 I would have loved to see on Stage 1. Maybe Jeremiah Boyd too. And we'll get to his one later because, yeah, considering what happened, it's something.
Yeah, but Gills won. Absolute. It's an amazement to see him go to stage 3 for a second time, even if it's this very much watered down course. Yeah. So Gills won. Anyone? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, no. And same for the episode as a whole. Gonna be moving on to the next episode after this too.
Yeah, because Gil was the final winner of the of episode 13, and after that, the rest of the winners went on night 2 of stage 3, which is also really interesting because again, this is the first time stage 3 has been chopped up into 2 nights.
Yeah, it is a little weird, but it's fine. Everything completely fine. It still makes for a better structured Vegas than last year, so I'll take it.
Yeah, but anyway, after that, let's move on to the finale of the season, starting with Elijah Browning, which is definitely another one of those ones that I absolutely expected to clear.
Yeah, going into it, definitely. Elijah had the skills. He's also one of those big name kind of big name veterans.
Yeah, he's like Vance. Again, he's competed for a couple of seasons. We know he could do well. He made it all the way to road signs, so he ended up falling. He definitely had difficulty on this course. I'll give him that. So it kind of is just like the course still weighs you down. It still kind of does its job as a stage story. But the thing is, like so many ninjas made it through. It really doesn't feel like much.
Yeah, again, reassigning our point. We've said this about a billion times. Yes. Okay, after that we had probably one of the most actually kind of meaningful ones of the entirety of this episode. Ethan Barnicki, who was running in the honor of another ninja, Travis Rust, who competed in ANW and then died in a motorcycle accident in 2021.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about Travis is that this is actually the first time we've seen his qualifying one in full, as that was cut in the original broadcast, so kind of funny, but not really. In this case, though, this actually kind of meant something.
Yeah, Ethan was running the course in honor of Travis, a ninja who was his coach. And like we said before, it could be on ANW11, so they did show some of that footage. It was never before seen. So, pretty good, honestly. We actually went back to Travis's run from ANW11, at least the City Finals one that they showed. And there actually is some kind of passion in that, because at the end he was kind of just like, he screamed at the feeling the 58th obstacle. He also came kind of close to making it to Vegas that season too, so it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. It's cool that an ninja like that could make such a difference in Ethan's life. So, really cool to see. And of course, Ethan Barnicki ended up completing the entire course, and honestly, one of the more gutsy ones that we ended up seeing, as Ethan actually had a lot of difficulty on the pressure cookers, really hanging up there for quite a while, which really does show how that obstacle also could have been deadly if the rest of the course was up to snuff. Yeah, but we've already gone on and on about that. I'm just saying in general, like, if you want to know something, there you go.
Yeah, so, so he ended up completing the course in Travis's honor, so really good run. And then we had
Jonathan Page. And honestly, what do I even say about this one?
Yeah, I mean, what I will say is that Jonathan Page, he's had an amazing season, so despite the fact that, like, he made it, because of the rules of how rigged this course really fell, did not require to hit a buzzer, that kind of thing. I think he's the only ninja to not hit either a buzzer on stage 1 or 2, at least. So he really doesn't deserve to be here, but not to mean this doesn't mean anything. Like, still, it's good to see him here. I think he's the oldest athlete still in the competition at this point. Still really good to see. He had somewhat of an entertaining one. He had an actually kind of entertaining segment, too, about the fact that he's coached the many ninjas. And, yeah, honestly, if not for nothing, at least he got some showtime in this episode.
Yeah, again, I would expect someone like him to be fast forward, especially given if we're going to be talking about a couple of minutes here. The only fast forward in the episode, but yeah, Jonathan Page made it all the way to the ultimate cliffhanger where he ended up falling on dismounts. Honestly, pretty unfortunate. I would have loved to see him complete that. He definitely could have. But honestly, I don't know how much farther he would have made it. I don't know how much farther he would have made it.
Yeah, probably the next obstacle I would have taken out pipe dream, but yeah. Still a really good one, despite everything before it kind of ruining its impact a bit, but still. Really good season for him as well.
Yeah, definitely. After that we had Caleb Bookstrom, and I did just realize like a couple of these out of order.
That's because the Ninja Warrior Wiki is listing out of order.
Okay, fail. Caleb Bookstrom. So he had a mid one after the commercial break. Right before Jonathan Bage's one, so it's a little bit out of order. But he had a really good one, getting all the way to the buzzer. Just still, it's one of those ones that isn't really much of anything, but still really good. And obviously, Caleb is also a veteran as well, so it's good to see him finally break through that dry streak he had after season 12.
Yeah, he's been competing for a bit, definitely for sure. After that, we had Vance Walker, who, like I said before, was definitely one of the ninjas we expected to clear and move on, and he did just that.
Yeah, Vance did have a segment about his wave apology again, and really hyping him up as the big, be-it-all end-all for this season. And obviously, it makes sense, Vance ends up winning later, so they would do that for the edit. And at least they are giving him a way better treatment than they've ever done with Caden. Because again, Caden Wood, it was the last man standing twice, and he didn't get much showtime in 13. And yes, he got plenty in 14, but still, it wasn't as much as Vance has been getting this season as well.
Yeah, just like the same amount, but yeah. Anyway, Vance completing stage 3, definitely amazing to see. Vance has some really big build-up as well. So honestly, really good to see, and I'm really happy to see him get this far. All the way to stage 4.
Yep. After that, we had a fast-forward segment featuring Hans Hutz, who completed stage 3. So, we've come to the day that we fast-forward people completing stage 3. The fact that you feel the need to do that should honestly make you understand why this course feels so boring.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they really should have understood that, at least a little bit. Like, really, guys, I'm not denying this one. We probably weren't missing much, if I'm being completely honest. The only really thing about this one I can really see to know is the fact that he barely made it. He almost slid off the final road sign, but still, it puts this sour taste in my mouth. But at the same time, though, I kind of get why they did it, too. It's really unfortunate. This stage 3 course is so not interesting. Not interesting. They had to fast forward a ninja. And I'm not even upset about it. I'm just really weirded out.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Up next, we had Jeremiah Boyd. And man, do we have a one to dissect.
Yeah, so this is a rumor. I want to stress this is a rumor, and our only credible source is fucking Reddit. So if someone who was filming there could actually come forward and tell us, if this was actually the case, then I would love to actually be able to confirm this, because I don't think I can really trust some offhand accounts on Reddit.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about this one thing that happened on the course that might have happened. We're not exactly sure. Similar the whole air surfer thing from last episode, from last time. It really it's a rumor, and I can't really believe it without some kind of offhand account coming to me. So the only way I'm really actually going to believe this happened is if someone from the filming actually tells me this happened, like they were there watching Boyd's run and actually saw him do what he did. So, if any of you guys are there and want to confirm this to me, then you can do that. But, what is rumored to happen is that, Boyd ended up completing stage 3, but because of some really stupid rule on the road signs, they decided to DQ him, but yet Gil did the exact same thing, but he was fine.
Yeah, so apparently their problem, this is according to the people on Reddit, so I'm not exactly sure if this is true, but apparently their problem was the fact that that they were reaching with one hand and coming down with the next. Why is that a problem?
Yeah, this is basically on the jump to the sign itself. Basically, you have to catch it with both hands at the same time. You very abundantly did this by reaching first and then grabbing with the other hand. Well, Boyd, you can see it on that second hop, but it's barely. And honestly, it's a very small margin to really DQ him on.
Yeah, so if this was the case, then yes, that's what happened. And you can kind of actually see in the broadcast a little bit too. As Boyd, after he catches the second wing, you immediately see him do like a full swing and come into the thing and immediately slide off. Slide off. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just saying it kind of looks kind of convincing if that was the case.
Yeah, Boyd looks really strong throughout the course, so it kind of was really sudden that he just fell like that. It felt, again, his caveat. Instead of giving like a rerun for something that stupid, the producers gave him the choice to fail on purpose. And because of what we just said earlier, you can kind of tell that is the case.
Yeah, again, I'm not going to say it happened or did, because again, our only credible source is fucking Reddit, and honestly, I don't want to trust Reddit on something, but if this really did happen, this is one of the most scummy things the show has ever done.
Yeah, it's not the scummiest on that Reddit post. I actually saw a bunch of other things that they've done to fuck with the course and fuck with what happened. And maybe I'll make a video about that, because this is stuff, if I can get credible sources for this stuff, then to me, that could be a good video. Again, if someone who was there on the night that this was filmed could confirm it, then absolutely. This is something that looks pretty probable just looking at the broadcast alone. But, yeah. Officially, Boyd failed at the final road sign. But again, the rumor is that he cleared. So, that's where I'm going to leave it.
Yeah, moving on after that, we had Kyle Soderman taking his second attempt on stage 3, which ended literally no differently than last time, where he fell on the alternate cliffhanger.
Yeah, he legitimately came out of this one saying, I gotta walk climb more. And it's just like, shouldn't you have came with that conclusion last time?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of it. It's like both these ninjas, they hadn't hit a buzzer yet. I don't even think Kyle had hit one yet this season.
No, he won the semis.
Oh, he did?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay. But still, it is a little weird that Kyle made it all the way here, but yet he didn't hit either buzzer on stage 1 or stage 2. Just like Jonathan Page. So, yeah, it really just feel like they weren't meant to be here, but whatever, it's fine.
Yep, after that we had Noah Munia, who had one of the most nothing ones ever, as he just completed the course with literally no caviar. It was easy for him. I have literally nothing to say about his one, and once again, that is disappointing.
Yeah, you'd expect it, but honestly, that's what it was. Munia just completed the course. Nothing really special about his one. Again, we mentioned it last time with Munia. He's one of those ninjas that that got a vastly undercut season because his obstacle is because his season was because the stage 3 was really easy. I don't feel like he's someone who should have went this far. Again, if the stage 3 course was up to snuff and that leaf floor wasn't playing. Seriously,
I have a neighbor who constantly cares about his yard work, and I don't understand why.
Okay, whatever. It's fine. Munia is one of those ninjas I really didn't think should have completed this course. If this course was up to snuff, he definitely would have completed it. He definitely probably would have failed somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe on pressure cooker. Again, if the rest of the course is up to snuff, I don't think we'd be having this conversation.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. After that, we had the final one on stage 3, definitely my favorite, RJ Roman. And yes, the one didn't have too much notable about it. Still really good to see RJ on this course for the second time. Third time. And complete it.
Yeah, RJ made it all the way to the end. It was one of the 8 ninjas to get to stage 4. So let's talk about this here. Stage 4. The Great 8. Willie Aqua.
Yeah, no, I don't think we even need to talk about that. Just the fact that they called them the Great Eight, like they were really pushing for that one. But yeah, 8 ninjas. A little bit much though, guys. I mean, I was pushing it at 6 last season. I mean, I was pushing it at 5 last season.
Yeah, like 5 we weren't really sure, but we were like fine. But this, not really. This is a little much. Just the stage 3 course was way too easy. I really hope that the designers really do see that, and again, we reinvent the course for season 17, and really make it the most difficult thing around. Really, again, testing what stage 3 is meant to be. But yeah, the stage 3 was kind of mediocre. Again, it was not really all that interesting to watch, which is unfortunate. And yeah, despite how long we've talked, Stage 3 really didn't have all that much to actually go on about.
Yeah, but let's move on to Stage 4. As in previous years, Stage 4 is just the standard rope climb, straight to the top, 30 seconds. One thing I will say about this Stage 4, there was definitely something with the pulley system. It was definitely doing way more work than the ninjas at some points.
Yeah, there's one coming up specifically that I want to point to for the example on this one, because it actually does show, and actually does kind of feel like that was the case. But yeah, that was it. So we're just going to go through everyone's one and talk about our opinions and feelings about all of them, and then talk about the episode as a whole, and end it off there. And I guess talk about the season as well.
Yeah, because I kind of have to. Anyway, the first winner on Stage 4 was
Hans Hertz, who, despite everything that happened, still had a really good one.
Yeah, he made all the way up, and he got about 62, and he got about 60 feet up before time ran out. So amazing season for him. Like, despite the nothing I have to say about Hans Hertz, Noah Munya, and NASA Gilmore, all of them had amazing rookie seasons. All of them are definitely nominees for the Stage 5 Ninja Awards, and all of them definitely have the potential to do this again next year. But if the course is going to get and I would love to see them on a much harder course. Like everyone here, even the ones that feel a little less worth it, which again these three, still looked for it. And again, all three of them do deserve some actual gratitude here. Hans made it to the top in 42 seconds, and an amazing rookie season for him. And and again, like he and NASA, they were the top ones. He, NASA, and Noah, and I think Noah's the farthest anyone's ever gone as a rookie now, because Noah came really, really close to finishing, as we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah. After Hans, we had NASA Gilmore, as we talked about just earlier. And again, I don't think I have anything new to say about his one, but still amazing to see him. He made up about 2 seconds faster than Hans. I find it really funny how they were going on about the last ninja standing when we already knew there was gonna be a winner.
Yeah, I forgot to mention it, but like they already spoiled Stage 4 crap way back in I think the qualifiers. They told us there was going to be a winner very early in the season. I don't remember when exactly, but very much earlier. I think it was before Vegas. And we should not have known that going in.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially since there were going to be 2. No. Honestly, we bitched about it last time. The fact that they did spoilers the editing, and the fact that they already told us there were going to be 5 ninjas on Stage 4. Or last season. We really should not have known that, and we especially should not have known about the million here. It generally means that if they don't tell us there's going to be a winner, then there won't be a winner.
Actually, yeah. I really wish that wasn't the case, but absolutely.
That is the dumbest thing ever. We have to have the show tell us that there's going to be a winner? I mean, yeah, kind of at this point. I mean, if they don't tell us next season, then yeah, the anticipation is still there, but it's going to feel less of it because there's less of a chance, you know?
Yeah, because you know what they would do if there was one.
Exactly. That's my thing. Can't wait to see this effect on next season, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially if there isn't a winner. And again, I really want to see one after Advance. There really shouldn't be another winner until, season 18 or 19 at least, I feel like.
Yeah, again, unless it's like Milwaukee or Gil.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, to me, I would just love to see either one of those ninjas win. But it's not really much of a contest. We need time. We always are going to need time. We need time for a stage. We need time to build up. I can't say there was much build up here, but at least there was a couple of seasons, 4 seasons, where the mountain was left unconquered. We came really close in season 14 having a winner. There was some build up here, I'll give you that. And at least stage 4 does have some time in the spotlight as well, which is nice. Despite everything they have to do in order to make that the case. Yeah, it's just that.
Yeah. Moving on, we got Gil's one, who, as we mentioned, ended up completing the entirety of the rope climb with just over 2 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, Gil's climb was really amazing to watch. How much he learned from last season. He was really going fast. You could see the wind actually blowing his hair on and really affecting him as he was trying to climb. But he still did it. And man, it was amazing to see. Gil's, again, he's had the longest and biggest journey of anyone on this stage. So it's so good to see him. Even though he didn't win, and even though he didn't hit the buzzer on stage 2, this still means a lot to Gil. And I hope that next season, when Gil comes back, he will win.
Yeah, like we said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if Gil was one of the ninjas on stage 4 next season, and he wins. Because I can absolutely see it. I don't even know if Vance is gonna compete. It
is kind of interesting too. The season 16 qualifiers, the same as were filmed before Vegas, so it's gonna be really weird actually seeing Vance. I don't think anything's going to be post his total victory until maybe stage 2, if not stage 3 that year, if he makes it that far.
Yeah. So if he fails really early, it would be so kind of surprising.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because again, he hadn't won yet at that point. So so they will have to edit it down so that way it does seem like a shocking fail, if that does end up happening.
Yeah, I would honestly expect Vance to take a break from ANW after this. But if he doesn't, he can just compete, and he does do that. I wonder how the editing would end up trying to treat it.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, yes, Gil ended up in the buzzer, and for a bit he was the top winner. As next up we had Noah Munoz, who got way closer than I thought he ever could.
Yeah, Munoz had a really good climb. He had a really good technique. He was really using his arms and legs. He got he finished in the second fastest and the third fastest time. No doubt, it was amazing to see, and I was really glad that he got as far as he did. I was surprised, legitimately surprised at how close he got.
Yeah, again, absolutely. How fun Noah made. Again, it makes me really think that if he's given a harder course, we can really see what he's actually all about,
Yeah, make no mistake in it, again, Noah, NASA, and Hans, despite the fact that we don't have much to say about their amazing seasons here, they definitely will get a nominee, at least, for the States ANW Awards. Who knows who we're going to end up picking? We're going to find out when that entry comes, but yes.
Alright, next up, Ethan Bonnicki. Okay, so here's the one we're using as the example for the pulley system, saying that pulled ninjas up. I'm not saying he did the entire job for him, but by the time he got to that 40-foot mark, he was dead, and he was really struggling to even climb in the first place. But yet, because of how the pulley system worked, he was able to get up 70 feet before the 30-second timer expired, even though it really looked like he was really just flailing his arms, and, yeah, he was still trying, but, it's so just... the small movements he was even making at that point, it felt like the pulley system was doing most of the work at that point.
Yeah, you kind of went that a little long.
I know. I ramble a lot with these, but absolutely. But this is kind of the case here.
Yeah, other than that, though, still an amazing one, an amazing season for Ethan. I'm really glad that he got to run in Travis's honor. And he got to see Vance Walker, who, by the way, won the season and everything.
Yeah, Vance. Oh, man, Vance. It's so amazing, Vance. It's kind of weird how he was not shown last. I honestly thought they would show him last since he won. like, the way the editing showed it really made it seem that RJ was going to be the overall winner of this, but Vance had some amazing technique. I've been saying it, I've had this idea in my head that ever since Isaac did it, that if you start off with your arms and go as high as you can and then transition into using your legs, it comes up with a really fast climb if you're able to have the endurance to do so. And Vance did that. He started off the run with all arms, and about 20 feet up, he started using his legs. And he started actually climbing and getting all the way, once he got all the way to the top, faster than Gil, and almost as fast as Isaac did.
Yeah, I think he was a little bit slower than Isaac. But still, like, Vance clearly practiced rope climbing before this, and it was really amazing to see. It's pretty cool that he even maybe used Isaac as a model, too.
Yeah, because, I mean, the technique is pretty equal, honestly. Like, maybe just, like, show the two of them on screen together, you know?
Yeah, actually. I think that would work. Yeah. Like a side-by-side thing, because it would be... Because, just to see what we mean, because they have really similar techniques going up the rope. And while, yes, Isaac is a rock climber, and that's probably the difference between the two, still amazing from Vance.
Yeah, Vance would end up winning the $1 million and becoming the ninja last ninja standing and achieve Kandan. Amazing to see it again. Vance, thankfully, he was one of the ninjas. Vance, thankfully, made it through every course. Despite what happened on stage 2, I'm able to excuse that because, again, and he had a rerun. And he was able to complete the course that time, and absolutely 100%. I'm really glad that he was able to complete the course. Oh, it's like Vance has had a journey in ANW. Like, unlike a lot of the other ninjas, it's really only Gil and RJ can really say they had a big journey on ANW that doesn't consider ANW Junior. I mean, Vance did as well, but Vance had some time in the spotlight before he won. I think every ninja needs that before they win. Vance got that. Caden's been getting that recently. If Caden wins next season, I would say he got that as well a little bit. And Caden's just been one of those ninjas who's just out of class for him. So if he wins during season 16, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, absolutely. After that we had
Caleb Bergstrom, and despite, once again, Caleb's one of those ones, I don't really have much to say, but Caleb still had a really good climb up the rope.
Yeah, Caleb, one thing I did know is Caleb was the biggest out of all these ninjas who made it stage 4, so he really tried to use his reach to his advantage, but you can tell he had a big weight to pull up, and again, the police system was doing a lot of the work for him. He made it. He completed the course in the third fastest time, 37 seconds. Again, like, I could see Caleb doing well on the show in the future. So with all the rookies we were talking about earlier, Caleb definitely has potential. Absolutely.
Yeah, Caleb did definitely have an amazing season next year. Absolutely. Like, despite, again, the lack of things we have to say about it, it's still an amazing season for him, man.
Yep, after that, we had the final one of the night, RJ Roman. Like we said before, the editing really made it seem like RJ would become the winner and beat Vance's time, which is a steep boat because, again, like, only Isaac really had a faster time. And there really wasn't much of a difference between the ones. And so, RJ had a big caveat, and again, it seemed like he would win because, again, he had been training ropes, and they've been showing that. So the fact that he wasn't able to complete the rope climb in the time allotted was surprising. He wasn't even able to do it in the 30 seconds as, again, he fell 70 feet up. And then the camera kind of ignores him and immediately goes to Vance.
Yeah, it's funny that these are filmed at different times and everything, but because of this, we don't know how fast RJ climbed to the top. They kind of just splash him to the side like he's nothing, like after he fails, which is really weird to me. You'd think they'd at least show him at the top because they definitely got some angles of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really kind of weird. Again, they just kind of flash him to the side and then start talking about Vance and with the fact that he has sleeve of palsy and everything. But so it's amazing to see Vance hold that trophy and everything. Like, this definitely meant something for Vance. He was shedding tears. Everyone else was really happy. Yeah, this meant something. And, well, yes, I will say, my personal feelings about this tour victory is that it has the least amount of impact on me out of the 3 that we've seen. as out of the 4, I'm going to say 4 because I count Jeff Britton and Gil now, kinda. But yeah. Yeah, like out of the 4 people who have won the entire thing and have gone to the top of the majority, Vance is probably the one I have the least emotion about, just because it doesn't feel like he has as much build up as the others. But to be completely fair, though, both Britton and Isaac didn't have all that much on the time on the show either. Britton had literally one fast forward before he won. Still, their climb on stage 4 was why those 2 ninjas were so big. They weren't really much of anything before that, so it is kind of hypocritical for us to say it like that.
Yeah, I mean, by all own qualification, really only Drew got that. Again, he's not even allowed to be brought up.
Yeah, I do find it kind of funny that, they anonymously bring him up in this episode, but they can't actually say, his name or show him.
Yeah, they are saying, the safety guys made a difference in the $1 million, and with Drew, it definitely did.
Yeah, but that's the finale of ANW 15, and that's the season as a whole. This season was wacky.
Yeah, how do we even close this out, man? Because it was just, so hard to talk about. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's just everything they did this season, it just wasn't right. It's pretty clear they really didn't know what they were doing, and it just felt like they were really trying to hold on for a winner. They wanted to shove in racing down our throats. They really just, everything about this season was bad. I don't have many positives about this season, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't have many positives. Yeah, I mentioned on the community post that I gave the season a 5.5 out of 10, and honestly, it's still that way. Despite that, Vance won and everything, I should feel more than I actually do. And I just feel like the course was duped. I feel like this course was toyed with for the worse. And that's the unfortunate part. That's probably why I feel so nothing about the fact that Vance won and the fact that Gil won, technically.
Yeah, but of course, it still means that we got a new total victory. Vance will have an era where he's able to be $1 million richer. If Vance ever comes back to the show after this, then he'll be the big star. And honestly, I can't wait to see how his post-total victory season goes by.
Yeah, again, we haven't really had anyone who won the show and have a postseason. Isaac retired right after he won. And while yes, he did be in season 10, it wasn't really much of a comeback year as he failed the city finals. Drew, he had the whole OS thing, and he didn't go any farther. Britton had an extra season in season 8 and did compete in ANW 11 as well. But Roy didn't have all that much time after he won. But to be fair, the show did just about it. He tried to show him as, the big favorite to win ANW 8. And then we're going to see what happens with Vance, how his post-total victory season will happen. Will season 16 be better or worse? Will season 17 be better or worse if that ends up happening? That's the question here.
Yeah, and if Vance is the final one of the show ends up happening, if it isn't able to continue after this, still, what an ending. The fact that a fan who's been a fan of the show since he was really young was able to win, it still means a lot.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Enjoy a Podcast. Again, we are really sorry for the long way on this one, but we have finally finished it.
Yep. Yeah. We're done with ANW 15. So, our plans for the future. Next time, we're going to be covering the couples special. Don't know when we're going to be doing it. It's going to be soon. After that, we have the Stage 5 Ninja Award to talk about. And, that's going to be 2 episodes. One announcing the nominees and one actually announcing the finishers. I hope by the end of the year that's all passed. So we can focus on the beginning of next year I don't even know, what do you want to do next year?
Yeah, so Sasuke 41 will likely be after that. We do plan to cover that. Hopefully things don't, we don't have problems with actually getting together to film it and with it, watching it in general, unlike last year. But, yeah, that's it with, Again, I have 2 videos in the works. We have that Stage 2 National Finals, which I hope to get out by the end of the year. And then we have that last video idea with Team Ninja, and we talk about those shows with ANW 15's racing. That's probably a video you guys will see within the next 2 to 3 weeks, because next time I get a chance to record it, it will probably be the next thing I get to record, and I'll probably be able to edit it really quickly. So that will likely be the next video you guys see on the channel. I feel like that might be before the couple special. Maybe it isn't. I don't know when we'll be able to film, but we're gonna see. And considering all the school shit I've been getting recently, and seeing it's because both me and John are juniors and you're a senior, so a lot of us are moving on with our lives. But we're gonna still at least try to give this season a good closing and still be able to cover the show as long as we can.
Yeah, it kind of does mean that, like, as we're moving on in life, we may not be able to do this as much, but we'll make sure to give you guys an announcement if things come up.
Yeah, I don't plan to be one of those people who just leaves without an explanation. If things do come up where I can't do the channel anymore, then I will make sure to let you guys know somehow, some way. Even if it's just like an unscripted, I quit video. Then that'll be that.
Alright, with that, we will see you guys next time for the, couples special. ANW, the couples special. And then we're gonna talk about State Fund Ninja Awards. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, despite everything that happened this season, it's still really good. We talk about State Fund Ninja Awards, and obviously there's gonna be a tribute in there too. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you guys next time for that. Peace.